Okay, so this is the final question for the 2019 A-level test. This is question 5, which is going to mix all the individual samples and MIDI files that you've got, everything that you've done previously. So this is now it. You're going to now be mixing this into a full song. So in the first question, what they want you to do is to apply reverb to the vocals and the backing vocals. Make sure it's a 3-second reverb. Let's pause there for 1 second. So what they're looking for here basically is a send. So I'm going to go back into my vocals, open these up like this, and I'm simply going to go into my sends. My first send is here, which is going to go to my reverb. My second send is here, which is going to go to my echo. So my first one, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open this one up. So as a reminder, this is your send A, and it gets sent to this reverb here. Now just be aware that this is where you're going to adjust how much reverb that you've got on this track, on this send track. So make sure it's at 3 seconds, just like that. So you will get hopefully get a mark then for that. So it's for the vocals and for the backing vocals. What I would probably recommend that you do is maybe take this in one step at a time. Let me just do my first main vocals here. Just be aware that in this, they're sort of hinting about what they're wanting you to get this thing, blend in the right way. Notice how they mentioned that the vocal and this guitar track. So I'm sort of going to be listening in the background to how this vocal here mixes in or blends in, if you will, with the electric guitar. So what you could even do is you could solo all this stuff out and maybe even solo your electric guitar, and just make sure that the reverb is enough. Reverb is very much like salt, and if you use too much of it, it will ruin everything. So don't just put this all the way up like this and not listen to how this is going to go. Now, the one last thing I'll mention is this. When you solo your tracks out, you obviously are going to be hearing that reverb, but just be aware that the examiner, when they get this, they're not going to have a solo track, they're going to have the entire mix. So what I would do is just solo this out so you can get the reverb to be right, maybe solo out your guitar part so that that's going to blend quite well, and then take it off and then start playing these together. Now just be aware that you haven't mixed this down yet. So it might sound like there's not a lot of reverb in there. So just make sure that you just sort of play around with this. Finally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this area in here, which has your backing vocals, and again, just adjust the reverb on send A for both of these individual tracks. Okay,